Hey everyone. Hey. All right. Before we get started, I'd like us all to get familiar with some of the terminology I'll be using today. Okay? Success. How do you get there? You make choices. Choices. Some are easy, some are hard. Well, what are easy choices? Easy choices are where you're in a situation and, you're given a couple of options and one is clearly a better option than the other. An example of this could be, let's say you've got a test the next day and you're deciding whether you should play video games or study or something, Well then, if those are easy choices, then what are hard choices? And while hard choices are similar, but in this case, you're given options as well, but one benefits you in some ways and the other benefits you in other ways, and you can't really decide. An example of this could be, say your parents are going through a divorce or something, right? And you're given the option of living with your father or your mother. Well then, how do you know if you made the right or wrong choice? And to be honest with you, you really don't, initially. Chances are, you find out if the choice you made was right or wrong from the consequences that follow. So, for some time, I've been thinking of how to approach a topic like this because honestly, it's tough. Success is such a huge topic and choices is such a huge topic. And, I just thought, I want to ditch the traditional script, right? Just memorizing all of my lines and everything. And what I just did was I wrote down my ideas and my thoughts on paper, and hopefully, by the end of this talk, we'll have a better idea of how to approach, a certain goal you may have and what choices you need to make in order to be successful in that. So recently, an important person in my life told me they dropped out of high school. And, I was shocked, like, wow, I thought, what's the difference between him and me? We were both the same age. He had a job and I didn't. We both had our ups and downs in school and life in general. So what is the difference? And I thought maybe, I don't know, is it because I'm such a good person and God's blessed me? And I thought, well, that means that he's such a bad person, and I just realized that's stupid. So then what is it? And I was thinking about it, and I realized that it's exactly what my talk is about today, decisions and choices, right? But does that mean he made the wrong choices? Well, I don't know, to be honest. It's happened so recently that the only real consequence I can think of is, he doesn't graduate, so he doesn't get his high school diploma. So then what's the problem? You could have just not dropped out. You had the option of doing that. And I realized that, okay, sure, you had the options, right? But they were very simple and they were short-termed. You can't do that if you want to be successful in something. Like say you want to make a lot of money, right? And you're thinking, oh, I'm going to make a lot of money, so I'm just going to focus on that. Well, here's $5, get out of here. It's ridiculous. You can't do that. Clarity is power. The more specific you are about your goal, the more your brain will know how to get there. And so, I've developed this, what I like to call a game plan since about early last year, when honestly, my life just fell apart, academically, relationally, and a lot of other stuff. And, I'll give you a bit of background about me. I'm a big fan of video games, right? And I've developed a game plan called RPG, and no, it's not a role-playing game, but it's a similar concept. You know how, when you're playing a video game, you can customize what they look like. You as a player, you're customizing the character, what they look like, what character traits they have, and whatever. Well, in this case, you're the character, and your mind is the player. Interesting. Well, why don't we break it down? We start off with R. R, the results. You've got to know how it ends, or at least have an idea. Because if you don't, if you're hoping that things will just work out, then it's like you're walking into a room blindfolded, hoping, you'll find your keys. It's ridiculous. You've got to have an idea. I'll give you an example of myself. I've got a huge interest in theater, astronomy, and aircraft, right? And I thought, for short-term goals, it doesn't even have to be that much. But for short-term, I just want to get a glimpse of what it's like doing something like that. And so the next step is P, the purpose. You've got to have reasons. Like, sure, I get you want to be successful. So does everyone, whatever it may be, whether it's academically or physically or anything. But you got to have reasons. You got to really dig deep as to why it is that you want to be successful in that. So for myself, I binge watch a lot of movies, right? And I was thinking, wow, they just look so good on screen. And I thought, hold on, what is it that I like about them so much? And then I applied that same question to astronomy. What is it that I like about it so much? And I realized that, it's not necessarily the title, the rank of being an actor, an astronaut, or, the money behind it, but it's really just the lifestyle of, waking up every day, maybe you're in space or something, if for astronomy or something, or you're an actor and you're going to work on a movie. And G, the game plan, aka, the choices. Like, let's say, plan 1 doesn't work. Plan 2 doesn't work. Does that mean you're just going to give up? I hope not. You've got to come up with a 3rd plan, 4th plan, or even 5th plan. But hey, take note of what is and isn't working. There's a reason the first 2 plans didn't work. I'll give you an example myself. So what I did was, I thought, okay, I really like astronomy and drama, and I thought, I want to expand on the regular courses we have at school, like sciences and drama and all the grades. And I thought, I really want to expand on it. So sure enough, I joined the school play, and it was honestly one of the best experiences of my life. And I was like really chubby too. But it was just one of the best experiences of my life. And it was 3 completely different, performances on 3 different nights, and they were completely different reactions. And it was just so incredible. And I'm hopeful, in the future, something like that would happen. As for astronomy, I just did some Googling, and I found our Canadian celebrity, Chris Hadfield. And he was just a huge impact on my life. He's got so much. And then eventually I found another astronaut, and she was the first neurologist in space, and her name was Roberta Bonder. And, well, I have an interest in neuroscience as well. So that was the last piece of the puzzle for me. So I'm hopeful that today you guys didn't really see me as a speaker, giving a speech to an audience, but rather, speaking to you or any of you guys as an individual, one-on-one. And I hope you guys make web-like chains like I did, and you make little connections, like, acting over here, neuroscience over there, astronomy, just make connections. And until you make those connections, that's the way you'll be successful, in my opinion. Thank you.